All right, we are going to wrap up this chapter in the next couple days here with a couple of special factoring situations. But we're not going to take a test because we don't have time. So the main circumstances that you'll be asked to factor are ones that we were working on yesterday and the day before. So hopefully you understood those a little bit because you'll need to know how to do that in the future. There's a couple other cases that don't come up quite as much, and they're a little bit more complicated. So I'm going to go over this with you today. It's going to be a little bit mind-boggling. Hang in there. Okay? What? You might be a little bit, yeah. Hang in there and see what you can get out of it. But if you don't completely 100% understand, it's not going to totally be
the end of the world.
The end of the world. Okay, so the situations that we're dealing with today are when instead of just being x squared or z squared or whatever squared, you got a number in front of the x squared, okay? And that changes things a little bit, all right? Because now when we go parentheses, parentheses, I can't just put an x and an x here. What do I have to put? A 5x and an x, okay? Because 5x times x is x squared, not x times x. So the way to figure out what these numbers are right here changes a little bit, because if you think about how you FOIL, when I do the outside terms together, it's going to be 5x times this thing over here instead of just x times that thing over there, so that's going to change things up. So here's how you do it. Are you ready?
Yeah.
As ready as you'll ever be. All right, the first thing that you do is you take this first number and this last number and multiply them together. So 5 times 2 is
29.
All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for ways that I can get things to multiply together to be, oh, I wrote that down wrong. No, I didn't write it down. Multiply together to be 10 and add to be 11. So what are my factor pairs of 10? What are two numbers that multiply together to be 10?
2 and 5.
2 and 5. Does 2 and 5 add up to 11?
No.
No. What's another factor pair for 10? 10 and 1. And 10 plus 1 is in fact 11. So that's what I'm going to use. Okay? So here's where the craziness starts. That part shouldn't have been too bad. I just went 5 times 2 is 10, and I just find things that multiply together to be 10 and added together to be 11, which is kind of what we were doing yesterday. Okay? Here's where the craziness starts. I'm going to rewrite 5x squared plus 11x plus 2 as 5x squared plus 10x plus x plus 2. Okay? Do you agree?
No.
No.
Do you agree? I haven't asked you anything yet to agree with. Do you agree that 5x squared plus 10x plus x plus 2 equals 5x squared plus 11x plus 2? Same thing, right? Because if I combine my like terms here, 10x plus x is 11x. So this thing that I started with and this thing right here are the same, right? Okay. Now I'm going to look at these first two things right here and these last two things right here as two separate pieces. What can I factor out of 5 and 10? In other words, what goes into both 5 and 10 evenly? Biggest number? 5. Okay? What goes into x squared and x both evenly? Or how many x's do they at least both have? An x. Right? Okay. So now since I pulled out a 5x from here, what's left? An x plus, since I pulled out a 5x from here, what's left? What? 2. Okay? Plus, what can I pull out of both an x and a 2? 1. And what will be left here if I pull out a 1? 1 times what is x?
X.
So we said x plus, what would be left from here if I divide it by 1? 1 times what is 2?
2.
2. Okay? So are you ready?
No.
Because we're done now. My answer to how this factors is the things on the outside, 5x plus 1, times the things on the inside. X
Is there an
plus
easier
2.
way to do it?
Okay? Nope. Crazy, huh?
I don't like doing this.
It's crazy, I know. We're only going to do it a little sometimes better.
I'm definitely befroggled.
I figured you probably were befroggled by now. Okay, let's do a couple more.
Oh.
See if you can get the hang of it a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to start with 3x squared plus 4x minus 15. What is my first step since there's a 3 in front? What's my first step? Multiply. I have to go 3 times negative 15 is what? What do I get when I do that? Negative 45. That's not supposed to be the hard part. First number times the last number. 3 times negative 15, negative 45. Okay? Now, just like we were doing the other day, she dies in the end.
Hey, no, she does not. Keep your mouth shut. Come on now.
I wanted to go see the movie.
She has a kid.
I know what happened.
Graham, I'm just kidding. I've never read the book. I have no idea. But if you do pay attention, so you're not confused. Okay. All right. Same thing. Same thing as before. I need to find 2 numbers.
Look what you did.
2 numbers that multiply together to be negative 45 and add together to be positive 4. Same thing we were doing yesterday. Can anybody think of 2 numbers that multiply together to be negative 45 and add to be positive 4? Nate? Okay, positive 9 and negative 5, right? Those 2 numbers multiply together to be negative 45 and add to be positive 4. So again, this first part should not be the crazy part. The crazy part is now when we rewrite this as 3x squared plus 9x minus 5x minus 15. Bless you. Okay? Did everybody see how I did that? Now, what's the biggest number that goes into 3 and 9 evenly? 3. How many x's can I take out from just these 2 things right here? Just 1 x. Okay? So now I have to go backwards. 3x times what is 3x squared?
What?
3x times what is 3x
1.
squared?
X.
X.
What?
3x times
Oh.
what is 9x?
3x.
3. So this is going to be x plus 3. Nice job, Hawaii boy. Now when I look at these 2 things right here, what is the biggest number that I can take out of negative 5 and negative 15?
5.
Negative 5. Negative 5 times what is negative 5x?
X.
X.
Nice.
And negative 5
Washington,
times
girl.
what is negative 15?
3.
3. What do you notice is true about these things in parentheses?
They're the same.
They're the same.
Always.
And if you do it correctly, it's always going to work out that way. So my final answer is the stuff outside of the parentheses, which
Negative
is,
15x.
what's out? 3x minus 5
What the heck?
times the stuff inside the parentheses, which is x plus 3.
What is happening?
Okay? I'll do 2 more.
Do like our assignment.
Okay?
Let's have a short assignment since I'm not. Oh, classic Jake
What?
Boyne.
These, I made them myself. Okay? My final step is going to always be to put the stuff that was outside the parentheses inside their own, and the stuff that was inside parentheses in their own. Okay? All right, let's keep trying here. Ooh, this is going to be a gross one.
Is it?
Big numbers.
Fooey, fooey.
Big numbers.
I don't like them.
All right, step 1.
Multiply.
Multiply. What do I get?
Negative something, 140.
Negative 140. So I need 2 numbers that multiply together to give me negative 140
The ones that are up there.
and add together to give me 31. Okay? Yeah, well, Stacy says I could go 10 and negative 14. Obviously, those multiply to be negative 140, but do they add to be 31? No, so those won't work.
Numbers.
Okay? So pick another one. 7 and
21. I was just a guess, I don't know.
negative 20. Do those add together to give me 31?
Multiply actually.
No.
No, 24.
What? Does negative 24 go in there evenly?
It
Get a
could.
calculator out, go 140, start dividing it by numbers, see what works.
5 and 8. 5 and
28.
28? Is that 5 times 28? Okay.
Oh,
Do I get a 31 out of that?
No.
Nope, but I'm closer. Closer, 33.
Does that mean it's 4?
Well, does 4 go in there evenly?
I don't think it does.
I think it does.
35.
4 and 35.
But
Is there a way I can get a 31 out of a 4 and a 35?
yeah, that has to be
Yes,
negative 34.
negative 4 and positive 35. Okay? So that's what we're looking for. So I'm going to rewrite this as 10x squared minus 4x plus 35x minus 14. So I took this middle thing and broke it up based on the numbers that you guys came up with. Okay? Now I need to look at these as 2 separate problems. What's the biggest number that goes into 4 and 10 evenly? 2.
2.
How many x's can I pull out of x squared and x?
1.
X, okay? So, Lexi, are you with us? Okay. 2x times what gives me 10x squared? 5x. 2x times what gives me negative 4x? Negative 2. Okay? So you can check your work there. If I distributed my 2x, 2x times 5x, 10x squared, 2x times negative 2, negative 4x, right? Okay, same game now with this. What's the biggest number that goes into 35 and 14 evenly? 7. So to pull out a 7, can I pull out an x? No, because the 14 does not have an x. 7 times what is 35x? 5x. 7 times what is negative 14? Negative 2. What a quinky dink. What do you notice? This right here is the same as that right there. So the answer to my problem is, inside these parentheses is 2x plus 7. And in the other parentheses, 5x minus 2.
That's kind of confusing.
Okay? Oh yeah. Now we did this with advanced algebra this year. This is a tough process. That's why I said if you don't quite get this,
Comprehend.
don't, worry too much about it. Hope not. Let's try one more. Okay, pay attention. Don't zone out and look out the window. Pay attention. Ask me questions.
Multiply.
Try and figure out what I'm going to do before I do it, like Brandon does, right? He knows what I'm going to write next even before I write it. What am I going to write? There you go. See, he's on top of it. Okay, so first step, 2 times -7 is -14. So I need two numbers that multiply together to be -14 and add together to be -13. Dylan? 1 and -14. Okay? It works. So now I'm going to rewrite this as 2x squared plus 1x minus 14x minus 7. So this piece right here broke down into those two pieces right there. Okay? All right, now I'm going to think of this as two separate problems. What's the biggest number that goes into 2 and 1 evenly? 1. So I'm not going to worry about that. How many x's can I take out?
1.
Just 1x. So have you noticed that every time that's been the same? Because this is always an x squared and an x, so we're only been able to take 1x out of there. So if I take an x out of 2x squared, what am I left with? 2x, because x times 2x is 2x squared. If I take an x out of 1x, what am I left with? 1. Very good. Okay, now let's look at the next one. What do I take out of -14 and -7? -7. -7 times what is -14x?
Why is it the -7?
2x. -7 times what is -7?
1.
Plus 1. What do you know? I've got a 2x plus 1. I've got a 2x plus 1. That's part of our answer.
2x plus 1.
And the other part of our answer is
-7x.
x minus 7.
Okay, just kidding.
Okay?
What?
The last part is easy, yeah, because it's always going to be this piece right here times those two things there.
I just don't get what it is.
Okay? What's that? Just say, aren't you in my class? Right? Just logging on by? What? Uh-huh. This 2x plus 1, this 2x, this one? Oh, well, I just think in my head, I go, okay, I know I'm going to take out an x, right? Because that's the most they both have. So x times what is 2x squared? And I know that it's going to be 2x because x times x gives me the squared, and then the 2 makes the 2. Same thing, x times what is 1x? 1. Okay? So you just kind of have to think your way through it a little bit better. All right, so short assignment. I would suggest that you buddy up, find someone smart.
Oh God, no. No. What?
Call no one. Yeah, no one. Come here and work with
I am on my own.
Happy
No
favorites.
one. Help.
Wait, Nolan.
No.
What will be your genius? I've never. Stop already. I never have.